Hello YouTubers, how are you today? This is your driver Scott. Today, not really so much a funny story, but I want to talk about a couple of things. My cancellation rate, my acceptance rate, and how it ties into Uber Pool. And when I first started, I want to tell you, when I first started, my cancellation rate was at 3%, 2%. And it was because of some of the stories that I've told you previously for the reason for the cancellation rates. And my acceptance rate was somewhere around 98%. Then as time went on and I've had some experiences, and as an example of an experience is that I was, I'm driving along, I get the request, it's an Uber Pool, I pick the guy up, he asked me to stop for coffee. Can't really do that, but okay, I'm going to stop for coffee for you. And we stop for coffee, and then he gets back in the car, and we're driving, and he goes, oh boy, I hope I'm not late for work now. And he was saying late for work now because he picked up the coffee. And I sometimes wonder about people. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure you've seen this in other videos. But why would you order Uber Pool and then worry about being late? Because at any moment, I could get a call that could pull us off the route. And your, 10, 15-minute ride could turn into a half-an-hour ride easily. This is why I don't understand that. It gets confusing for me. And then there's people who just complain. I picked this guy up and we're driving along, and we didn't get any requests. We would just keep going. And he's telling me, oh, I'd love to do this. He goes, but I can't stand when the driver starts going west when I want to go east. I don't want to be late for work. I'm thinking to myself, well, we had a conversation. We talked about it, right? And I was trying to tell him, you shouldn't blame the driver for that. That's not really the driver's fault. It's a function of the app, okay? And it's kind of weird how somebody would choose to drive Pool and then complain about, what it is about Pool that they're choosing. I know a lot of people are just going by price. It's the first one up there, they just click it, it's the cheapest one, so they just go for it. And sometimes they don't understand it, but these people I'm talking about understood it. I could tell from our conversations, they knew exactly what they were doing. Then I'm sitting there driving along, I have this couple in the car, and we get the request, and I tell them about it, and we go to pick them up, and then they start grumbling about the people that they're going to pick up. Look at these people. I'm thinking to myself, this is the whole thing about Pool. You may get somebody in the car, you don't know who that is, you don't know what's going on. Now, understand that me as a passenger, I would probably never choose Uber Pool or Lyft Line, only because, I'm sharing the car with somebody. You're not saving that much money. A couple bucks, Now, your other choices are, taking a cab, which nobody really wants to take a cab anymore, or taking the Uber X, which Uber X, it's a little bit more expensive. Going Uber Pool, where you're sharing the ride with other people, or getting on public transportation, which is, in many cases not an option. There are times when people need to get around, and it's, before the buses were even running. So, or after the buses have stopped running. So, in either case, I would say don't choose Uber Pool. Just don't do it. Unless you don't really care, you got, time to kill. My time is more valuable than the time it would take going out of my way to get the ride. If I had no other choice, then I would do it. But for the most part, if I have a choice, I'm not going to choose Uber Pool. I did have another guy in the car. I was going to pick him up. I already had two people in the car, one next to me and one in the seat behind that person. And the seat behind me was empty. And I get the request, and the person calls me. And I answer the phone. She goes, listen, you're not going to pick me up. You're going to pick my boyfriend up. It's great that she's telling me this. And she says, he's going to be wearing this, and he's going to be standing outside the basketball court over here. She goes, the communities are kind of divided. There's two communities next to each other. So I want to let you know to drive past the first one because the navigation app always tells you to drive into that one. Anyway, thank you very much. I appreciate that. So I ended up following her instructions, and I pull up to the guy. She did great. I pull up to the guy, and he's got this scowl on his face. And he gets in the car, and we start driving. And he goes, he gets on the phone and he says, "Hey, you ordered me a pool." I'm sorry, a lot of times I try to say this stuff. I try to say this absurd stuff with a straight face, and hopefully you're laughing at it. But sometimes I can't help it. Sometimes I just have to break out and laugh. This dude, for whatever reason, couldn't order his own car. And now he gets his girlfriend to order it, and he's complaining about what she orders. Like, dude, man, you need to straighten up a little bit. You need to man up and be a man. I'm sorry. Anyway, we get off the phone, and he goes, "How long is this going to take?" And I'm like, I really don't know. I said, part of the problem is that it's telling me who to drop off next. And it's not telling me how long it's going to take me to drop off each person to get to the last person. It's just telling he was last. It's just telling me the next one and approximately how long it's going to take me to get that one. Then once I complete that, I say I dropped them off, and then it tells me the next one. So at that point, I didn't know how long it was going to take. Now, maybe since then Uber has updated it. I don't know. But at the time, it did. Now, if there is a way, let me know down below in the comment section. But I didn't know at the time. So anyway, it was because of stuff like that. You get a call, you go out of your way, and it's almost not worth it unless you fill the car up. If you don't fill the car up, it's not worth it. And a lot of people throw these crapshoots in the hopes that they're not going to get somebody else in the car, and I'd say it's about 50-50 that it happens. So I got disgusted, and I decided I wasn't going to drive Uber Pool anymore. Now, the reason why I still drive Uber Lyft is because I think Lyft does a better job with their passengers than Uber does. I don't think Uber explains things to their passengers the way Lyft does. I don't know. I know for me, my dealings with, I've never used the Uber passenger app, and you could take a look at my video as to why, but I know they explain things to me, even though I'm a driver and I already know, but they would sit there and explain things to me, so I know what's going on. It's not like I'm in the dark about things. And I don't believe Uber does that. I don't believe they extend the same courtesy to their passengers. In either case, I have problems with Uber Lyft line, as opposed to regular Lyft and many times regular Uber, but I don't have as many problems with the Lyft line as I do with the Uber Pool. Now the Lyft line too, they've raised the rates. So like if I get a Lyft line and I pick one person up and I drop them off and I don't fill up the car, I get paid the same whether it's a Lyft line or whether it's a regular Lyft. And Lyft is doing that so that drivers won't be so sour on picking up those kinds of rides where the car doesn't get filled up. So it makes sense to me. I don't know how long they're going to do it for, and maybe once they stop it, who knows what's going to happen from there. But I just kind of got disgusted with Uber Pool. They also say that they call us drivers partners, and if you're a partner, if I'm a partner and you're a partner and we're in business together, we get to negotiate terms of service, who's going to do what, and fill out the contracts and everything. But that's not the case with Uber. Uber says, look, these are the terms of service, this is what you're going to do. And you say yes or you don't drive for Uber. It's that simple. So I did say yes. But when it comes to Uber Pool, at first what was happening was I would just tap yes to accept it. And then I would look and go, oh, damn, that's a pool. And I would cancel. And my acceptance rate went from like 98%, my cancellation rate went from like 3% all the way up to 18%, which I didn't want to happen because, you keep canceling and you can be put on timeout with Uber, and I didn't want to go ahead and do that. So anyway, I ended up switching to not accepting it. I look, I'll see, it says Uber, it says Pool, and I don't accept it. No thanks. There's a little box in the corner that says no thanks, and I hit that box, boom, and my acceptance rate went from like 98%, it went all the way down to 54%, and they won't disable me because of that. To my knowledge, what they can do is they'll sit there and they'll send me a pull request and I won't accept. They'll send me another pull request, probably the same one, and I won't accept. And then they'll send me another pull request and I won't accept. And then they'll say you're on timeout now, and I'm like, okay, and I'll just turn off the app and I'll just drive Lyft. And I remember having an Uber passenger in the car who was also a driver, and he was saying he was afraid to do that. And for some reason he couldn't drive Lyft. They wouldn't accept him for whatever reason. But I told him, listen, dude, here's what happens to me a lot of times. Not all the times, but a lot of times. Uber pull requests will come in. I'll say, nope, I don't accept it. And what'll happen is I'll get a regular Uber request right after that, and I'll accept it. And I'll go there, and it's a nice long ride. I'll make like 20 bucks. And I think what happens is Uber's algorithm is set up so that if all the cars that are near, they send the pull requests, they kind of like override the regular ones, and they send those out first to get all the drivers and all the pull rides, and then, whatever long rides there are for any other drivers that are around. I kind of think that's what they're doing, because I can't tell you how many times I've gotten an Uber pull request, I said, no thank you, and boom, after that I get a nice long Uber ride. And even if that doesn't happen, many times I get the Lyft, which didn't help the guy I was telling, but I'll hit no, and I'll get a Lyft request right after that. So anyway, my acceptance rate has dropped. It went down to like 54%. And now it's kind of like around 78%. And I'm guessing Uber's algorithm kind of figures out that I'm not going to accept it, so they kind of don't send them to me like they used to. But it used to be boom, boom, boom. Now, it may also be that a lot of passengers are having a hard time picking up a ride with Uber Pool, and they're not using it. It may just be in our area. This area is South Florida, Broward, who knows. But and there are less people requesting it. But I don't get as many as I used to, and if I do get them, I just don't accept them. And if Uber puts me in timeout, I'm just going to drive Lyft. It doesn't matter. So anyway, I just wanted to let you know what was going on with that. Now, I'm kind of hoping that passengers are going, I'm not taking an Uber Pool, and they just go for Uber X only. There are always going to be those that, they want to save that dollar and they're going to put that request in. But I'm hoping that most passengers just don't even do it. Just stay away from it. Anyway, that's my soapbox spiel for today. I hope you liked it. If you did like it, go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe, comment, share. Comment, please. I'd love to hear stories. Anyone who wants to tell me their stories when they get in the Lyft, when they get into a pool or a share riding car, and the kind of wacky things that happen from there, those are usually pretty funny. Anyway, let me know about that. Also, consider driving for Lyft or Uber. Anyone who's seen my previous videos know, I actually prefer Lyft, but I would say don't discard Uber. I like Uber a lot. There are some negatives to it, but I still like it. I really do like it. I just, you pick somebody up and you drop them off. And I get so many requests. Even though I get paid less, I'm about even. Lyft and Uber are about even as far as my weekly pay is concerned. And that's because there's so much Uber out there. So anyway, take a look below, make some part-time income. Even possibly if you're looking to make a career change, that's fine too. But take a look at the descriptions below. But like, subscribe, comment, share. This is your driver, Scott. Have a great day.